Hey fam, I am God's only current earth angel. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, I highly suggest you head back to the intro, figure out why we're here, figure out if you want to be here. If so, start at part 1, do the work, and then meet us back here when you caught up. For everyone else, this is part 112. Today, I have a secret. I have information on how the devil is able to trick so many people into doing wrong and doing bad, which actually leads to them losing their lives. So I just figured that if you knew what to look for, if you knew where it was that he was trying to communicate with you and trick you, then you would be safe because you would know it's him. Okay, so I think I have to do a little bit of a backstory. Obviously, the devil was one of God's archangels. He betrayed God. And therefore, when he betrayed God, he also kept what abilities were given to him when he was created as an archangel. One of those abilities is telepathy, so therefore he can communicate with all of you as long as you have any emotions within your heart. What are those emotions? So like fear, anger, hate, emotions. If you have emotions, he has access. So obviously God is good, and the devil had a sour soul and decided that he wanted power and he wanted to do things his way, which wasn't great, and obviously is dark. God is light, he is the dark. So when we are spiritually communicated with, we don't hear somebody else's voice. Like when communication is happening with us, we're going to hear it as a thought. So the way I like to explain this, and some people have told me they haven't experienced it, but most tell me they have, is if you're ever sitting there and you have a feeling like, get up and check the door, get up and check the door, get up and check the door. And it's kind of repeating and it doesn't stop until you get up and check the door. And then once you do, it stops. Another fun fact, because you guys know I love them, our thoughts don't repeat. We have one thought. And so therefore, if you have a thought like get up and check the door, get up and check the door, get up and check the door, that is repeating. That is someone spiritually communicating with you. And when you're having that voice say get up and check the door, it's not in somebody else's voice. It's in your mind, and that's why you think it's your mind. So this is how the devil tricks us. He's not a snake hanging from the tree trying to get us to eat an apple. You have to realize that it's actually the bad thoughts that come across us that is actually the devil tempting us. God is good. We are good. We are the light, and we are with God, then we don't have bad thoughts. So therefore, if you have a bad thought, it's because that's the devil, and he's trying to tempt you into reacting with that negative thought. So for example, I told you he has access to us through our emotions. So let's say there's somebody at school who's super mean to you and you just hate them and you're so mad at them and you're so angry at them. It doesn't matter what they did. You're holding that emotion. You're holding that hate. That allows the devil in. He sees you're like a perfect subject to go after because you have all this hate and anger in you. He comes in with a thought like, oh, I wish they were dead. And then all of a sudden, that person rolls with it and actually wishes death upon that person will lose their soul to the devil because he gave them a negative thought, a very bad thought that they thought was their own brain thinking that. and they rolled with it instead of being like, no, I would never want that to happen, because they're a part of the light and their soul knows that they're not supposed to wish bad on anybody or death. And so therefore, it's a very fine line of thin ice that we're treading on constantly in life. God is light, and so he is nothing but love and light. If there's anything other than love and light, anything, it's coming from the devil. He's trying to trick you. He's trying to get your soul from you. And then once he gets your soul, he now has access, obviously, to your bodysuit, which is your body. Because, like, my body right now is just what my soul is using to be here on earth. So if he owns your soul, he has access to your body. That's why sometimes when like a mother does something awful to her children, or a father does, you know what I mean, murders his children, the devil, I promise you, already owned their soul, had access to their body, and used their body to go do these awful things like mass shootings, for example. That's the devil running that bodysuit. So once again, what are those things that would also cause you to lose your soul to the devil? Would be committing, murder, having your hand involved in it, like ordering it, or making a call that causes others to lose their life. Like, it has to be malicious. If you have a government job, or you have a job where you're just doing your job, obviously, and it's not malicious, or you're protecting your family or yourself from somebody bad breaking in, it's not malicious. You will still retain your soul, if you had to kill somebody. Remember, it has to be malicious. So if you maliciously take the life of another, the devil will own your soul. Of course, the other thing that will cause you to lose your soul, but it doesn't mean the devil will take you, is if you molest anybody under the age of 18, then you become a lost soul. The devil doesn't take you. God does. You don't get to go back home. You don't get to be with the light or God. You will come out of your body within a heavy fog, not see anybody, not be able to talk to anybody, and eternally live faceless alone. So going back to the devil being able to creep in and make us think, that our thoughts are what he's negatively trying to convince us to do, God also helps protect us from the devil. So if anybody has a thought of, I wish somebody death, or I wish they were dead, God's going to ask you 3 times if you're sure. You either have to ignore him for 3 times, which he knows you can hear him, or you have to say no to him 3 times, or you just choose that you're going to do whatever you're going to do. I mean, anytime you're about to lose your soul, God does step in. He tries to help you. He tries to save you. And he asks you 3 times if you are sure. So basically, to keep your soul in this life, you just have to not be a shitty person. Choose to be good, even if you get like crazy bad thoughts. Remind yourself who you are. You're a God's child. You're a part of the light. You're good. Make sure only good comes from you, and you'll be safe. But I want you all to know that those negative thoughts are not your thoughts. Like, if it's a bad thought, know it's the devil. Think of something positive, good. Pray to God. All right, guys. So make sure that you choose to not be a shitty person. Choose to grow, choose love, choose the light. God bless. Side note, I'm in the middle of doing my nails, so don't be judging.